Hello. Hello. How you doing? To Beam's Crafty Corner. I'm Beam, better known as Els. And today we are going to make some glue dangles. Yes, glue dangles. Do we have one? We do. You know, these cute little things that go on the top of your glue bottle. This one's been in here forever. I don't even know if it'll come out of there. It's been in there so long. And it just pulled the pin right out of the glue bottle. Because that one's been in there forever. I need a new glue bottle. Okay. So, I have some pliers, a tray, which just keeps them from, going everywhere. I have these that are supposed to be stainless steel. But just in case, we have these, and we can make these out of these. All right. And I have just absolutely so many beads. And stuff. Let's see. Do I have any chain in here? Chain would be helpful, to have some chain to do this. No chain in there. That's okay. We'll find chain. Chain. Jump rings. Lobster claws. Oh, the important stuff, right? That's where those little boogers are. I knew I had them. I was looking for those. Couldn't find them. That's where they were. Okay, they're in there. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything in here we're going to use? Probably not. There's an earring clip in here that's escaped. Go through it. Wire. We don't use wire for these. No, we don't. Now, these ones are supposed to be stainless steel, nickel free, but I don't know. We're going to try them. We're going to use those because these ones I've already soaked, and we've found that they are not yucky. But we do need a handful of these. So we're going to get a handful of those out. Okay, what else? Some crystals, because those are always fun. A mess. All right. Okay. Hello, Miss Gypsy. Hello, Marjorie. Hello, Marie. How are you, Chris? By the way, Chris found the keys. She went and got pie. Hey, Roseanne. Carla. Miss Murray's in the house. All right. We like this pair. We like that. We don't really use those for this. We use these. This one. This one. Mostly. These are ergonomic. They're supposed to be better for my hands. Not always. But sometimes they are. Holy crap, you got a notification? That's impressive. Take a nap, Becky. Climb into bed and take a nap, honey. We know how exhausting she can be. All right, now I gotta find my cut some crap scissors. There they are. Love these things. I buy them like 4 and 5 pairs at a time because I go through them so much. But that's because if you're trying to cut that wire that, is permanently like the bracelet that does the spiral bracelets, that wire is hard as hell to cut. Just so everybody knows, here it is. Look, this is my big magnifying glass. Why? Because I'm blind and I have a hard time sometimes seeing. So I have my other light here with my big magnifying glass. All right. So now, somebody pick a color. Any color. Pick a color, pick a color, pick a color. Purple. Purple. All right. Purple, purple, purple. Purple. We have purple. All right. All right, we have purple. All right, I need a head for this. Let's see, what should we use as a head? What do I want to use as a head? Let's see. The head for a purple one. Let's see. Those are too big. Maybe. All right. We use a little Celtic knot. Hi, Patty Ann. Aww. See that crying? Why is he crying? What did those meaners do to her? Let's see. I got purple and black. All right, so we're gonna start with purple. This one's got beads all over the place. Here we go. Okay, this one too. Get rid of that. There we go. All righty. So we have to start with some pins. I do like these, but I don't like these with them. Maybe. We'll see. So let's grab some of these. They're all different sizes. I know. All right, let's do this. Let me see if I have a pack of these open.
They would be in the clear beads. Clear beads. Clear beads.
What?
Oh. The dark blues.
We need cleaners. That is some of those. Okay. Now, if my blind ass can see it, we're good. If my blind ass can't see it, then we're in trouble. $69. Didn't want to figure out later whether it gets worse. She didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay here. She knew her friends were going to come. These big ones are a little big to do this, so I'm kind of looking for the smaller ones. Here we go. There's one. Could you turn, please? Thank you. Okay, that's one. 2. 3. And another medium. Let's not drop beads on the floor. So we need at least 3. Let's see. I haven't bought beads in a while. Which is probably a good thing. All right, that's 3. Good. Glad your booby squish was good. I love these stupid pliers. I do. right, now we're going to need some chain. Come in. Go through the linky. Not where I wanted it. Okay. Alrighty, that one's gone. Let's get another one. Let's try that again. Shoosh. These things happen. Let's do this the old-fashioned way. Just use my damn fingers. Yeah? Okay. Here we go. Why does it not want to go through the link? Go through the link. Go into the light. You should have just left it where it was. There we go. Okay. That's a little better. It's a little better. All right. Now I need one of these things. All right. That's the base. I did do that for a while. It was boring. Well, I mean, it got boring, you know? All right. So now we have 3 of these little boogers. And now we're going to try and put these on the chain, which is always easier said than done. I managed a magic shop here in Vegas. There's really only one magic shop here in Vegas. I mean, there's one in every casino, but it's a chain. It's all owned by the same jackass. He's a schmook. I'll open this up a little bit. Make my life a little easier here. Come on. There you go. See what a good piece you are. Just went right on there. Just the way you're supposed to. All right, that's one. And we'll put this one on. Over here on this side. We had it, it slipped. Such a pain in the butt trying to do this, guys. And 3. The last one goes right on, right? Jesus. Cheese and crackers. All right. Now it needs a chop. Oh, what should we put on the purple one? What should it be? Oh, what should it be? Hi, Christine. Yeah, this is actually for a bracelet, for you to do bracelets. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe this one. I don't know. Little skull and crossbones. Maybe just a tiny little key. Yeah, we're going to do a tiny little key. So I'm going to do this as a tiny little key. And so I'm going to use a smaller ring on it because it's tiny. I'm going to use a tiny ring. Do I have tiny rings? Okay. Let's try not to drop another thing on the floor. And by let's, I'm referring to myself because, yeah. Okay. I'm going to get this on the tiny little key. And then it has to go on that last loop. Okay. And that is perfectly closed. All right. Now what I don't like is this over here. It's like 2 loops of chain too many, you know? Okay. So these are the ones we floated for a couple of days. And these are supposed to be stainless steel. And they did not tarnish. So I would believe that they are stainless steel. We're gonna use this thing on there. Hold on. Gotta do the thing. Here's the thing. There's the things. Okay. Okay, that one works. We don't have a new one yet. We're still on paper bag. No, we do. We do have a new one, don't we? Yes, we do. It is a Rolodex card and washi. It could be washi tape, washi sticker, washi paper, and a Rolodex card. If you don't have a Rolodex card, just improvise. All right, next color I had on the list is black. So let's put let's put the purple ones away. Yeah, how's Becky liking her light red hat? Okay, black. All right, we got to do a Scully. And oh, maybe those. Never know. You never know until I look at them what I'm going to use. Those are nice. Little pearls. No, I don't want to do pearls. If you're going to do black, you at least got to do one Scully, right? Those. Those are different. They're clear with a little black core. Kind of cool. Like eyeballs. Let me just have some black crystals. Those are always nice. Oh no. Well, if you have to go lay down, honey, you go lay down. No, ma'am. Not earring. A little rubber piece on the back. This little guy. Yeah. They're the hard ones, the square ones. And I put them on there just to stop them because if your pin gets bent or messed up, I don't want the whole dangle to go to crap. So I use a lobster claw at the top so that you can take all of this off and put it on a different pin, you know? And I always, whenever I sell them, I always sell them an extra pin. We're going to try one of these. Now, this says they're supposed to be nickel-free. These are supposed to be stainless steel. I paid a lot of money for these. We're going to find out if they're actually stainless steel. I'm going to make something out of one of them, and we're going to find out if it's going to be a problem, okay? So, always have to have at least one Scully whenever I do the black ones. Need a Scully, right? Okay. Now, yes, you can glue this on and you can just, take the glue off of it later. How do you get the glue off? Soak the damn thing. Unless you're using like E6000 or something like that, in which case then you're going to soak it in some kind of a solvent. But I usually find that if you just put a little bit of glue there, what happens is as it goes in and out of the glue bottle, it kind of gets glue on its own. And that usually keeps it on there. So I'm not real worried about it. Plus, they're a little bit tight on there. Slow and steady. Let's get it up there. All right. So that's our glue bottle top. So that's our inspiration. Little Scully. Isn't he cute? I think he's cute. I think he's adorable. Okay. Totes adorbs, man. All right. So let's make... Let's pull out some crystals, some glass beads, and whatever these things are. Well, these are kind of cool. Those are kind of cool. They're a little bigger than I want, though. Yeah. Like, they look really deceptive, but when you put them this way, they're very large. Okay, so those are going to be a no. So let's see if we have something else we could use instead. Like maybe a smaller version. cracked. I don't mean they're broken, I mean they're cracked. It's the form that they are. All right, let's see. Let's see if these are smaller. Yeah, those do appear to be a little bit smaller than we have here. We'll use these instead of the clear ones on this. Okay, so we have some of those in. Night, Marie. Get some sleep, honey. You're on there. Just stay on there, would you? Okay, there we go. One. Two. Yeah, that'll work. Yes, yes. Okay. Okay, with that. This one's going back in the bin. All right, chain. This piece of hair is driving me crazy. Yes, it's my own damn hair. It drives me nuts. Okay, here we go. All right. Big loopy doopy. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your chainy. Shake your chainy. Oh, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your chainy. Should have got a couple of loops somewhere. Okay, hold on. These. One of these. These. Chain. me get out. Special pliers. Love these pliers. Making the loops used to be such a pain in the butt. I used to make, the rosaries. Those I made all by hand. Oh my God. What a pain in the yow-yow. All those, like, loop on either side and a bead in the middle. Oh, I was ready to kill somebody by the time I was done with those. Why did that not cut? Mother pumping puckle buckle. Storage. You're going to be a problem, aren't you? Of course you are. Okay, well, now we have to fix this one. It's to the side, and it shouldn't be. All right, we'll get it. When we put it on, I will fix it. Here we go. I used to say that jewelry making would calm me. And then I realized it's kind of like working on a car. It's a whole lot of fun, but I have really bad words to say about it. Okay, now, what do we have? You're going to go on the last one. And then, oh, you're the long one, so you go on first. On the short chain. I guess it would help if I open it, because that thing closes them. I can't see what. Perfect. All right. It's on there. It's nice and snug. Next. We'll do this one. This is the one that got screwed up, I think. So let's open that a little bit. This one. You're going to go on here. Right there. That's the one I had to cut. So, making sure it's closed. Yes, okay. I think that's the one. It might have been this one. I don't know. It was one of these I had to cut. All right, so I'll put this one on the last link of this chain. There we go. And, oh, that's the one with the cut mark. Okay. All right, let's, that has to go down. There we go. So much better. Okay. Now, I didn't put a charm on this one because we have the skull. We could put a charm on it. I could. But he's charming all on his own. Yes, we know. You're going to keep falling backwards because you're heavy. Here, I'll just do it on that side. All right. Yes, he did. Thank you very much, Mari. He's here. Holding it in your hand, were you? Okay. I love when I do stupid shit like that. All right. So it's purple and black. What other colors are we doing here, ladies? Nobody else has put in colors. Colors. We need colors. Cars. I'm looking at a Mazda 3 for 5. It has 140, but I read that they will last until 200. Jay was a used car salesman, but I couldn't ask him, obviously. Okay. All right, so it's a Mazda 3. What year? That's kind of important. Well, you need to know the year. Sorry about the dinging. It's Jen P. She's doing a little shopping. And first off, lady's got a used Big Shot. And so Jen wants to know if I'm interested. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, tell me, about it. Red and black. Get me a year. And I need something more than a Mazda 3. I need to know what is the engine size? Is it a 2.4 liter? Is it like an LT or an EX or anything like that? Get me details, girly. Girl, I need details.
What?
Patty Ann's looking at a car. It's a Mazda 3, but she doesn't have a year on it, but they want 5,000. It's got 140,000 miles on it. But that doesn't matter if it's a bad year,
Yeah, or if they've got recalls or all kinds of other
all
stuff.
recalls and things like that. So, all right, so we're going to do something in black and red. So let me put these away. Need information. What did I do with them? Oh, there's the black ones. Okay. Good. Get all that stuff. You want everything. All right. I have to have information in order to give you information. Input. Okay, red. Red. All right, let's take a look at the reds. Let's see if there's anything interesting in here that we want to use. This is like the reds and the pinks. So you have to be kind of really basic with these because you don't want to put too much on them because then they're heavy. You don't want heavy. Those are lovely. Okay. But let's do Nope, we're gonna do solids. Okay. Maybe crackles? No. No into crackles. Do more pink anyway. Okay, here we go. Put this down here. We're gonna use those, not these. Let me put these away. Yeah, just message me. Message me as much as you need to. I need the make, I need the model, I need the year. All right, let's get a couple of these out. I don't know how many we'll use. We'll get a couple of these. Don't know how many we'll use. These ones have like red and gold on them, kind of swirled onto them, so they're really cool. So we'll get a couple of those out. And then we'll use some of these and, of course, some of those. Okay, here we go. I don't know what we're going to use for top, but we're on it. I really love these. They have just a little bit of color in them. Really pretty. I don't like them with this color crystal, though. Let me see. I want something with a little more. Need something a little different. Try something with a little iridescence to it. You know? Yeah, I don't like that either. Okay. We're not going to be able to tell if they've reset it. But that's always, you know, if a mechanic is selling it, that is a huge possibility. Do I have these smaller? These little cranberries. I need smaller ones. I want smaller ones. Let's take a look. Are these smaller? I don't know. We're going to find out. Nope, same size. Okay. It's just overflow. I think the darker ones are smaller. Not by much. The coral is smaller, but the coral is more pink than red. I'm going to try this. Okay. Let me see, because I don't know. I'm not loving that. Oh, I do like that. Okay. See, but once you put it all together, you never know. You know what I mean? Okay. You just want to make sure that the guy you're buying it from hasn't like rolled back the odometer on it, or which is kind of hard to do nowadays because, you know, computers. All right, we're gonna put some black in here. All right, we're gonna add some black to. I think this one, if I break it up, it might be better. Well, that's a big one. We don't want that one. Little. But, you know, it may have codes on it and they've cleared the codes. There, that's better. Okay. You know, so we just want to be careful. And if he's a mechanic, why is he selling it if it's a good car? That's another question. Well, maybe he got it and rebuilt it. He may have bought it, but did it have a junk title? Like, did he get it out of a junkyard because it was totaled and he did a shitload of body work on it? These are all questions. Is that in the ballpark for that particular vehicle as far as price-wise? All questions I have. Why? Because I'm that broad. Yeah, so if it's his personal car, you don't want to do it. Don't feel obligated. Yeah, okay. But there's a couple of things you want to do. You want to get in the car, you want to start the car. Once you've started the car, walk around the car. Look to see if there's any condensation coming out of the tailpipe. Is there any smoke coming out of it? Are there any strange smells around the car? As far as like, can you smell any transmission, antifreeze, water, anything? Then get in the car and you want to very slowly, with your foot on the brake, run it through its gears, and you want to feel if the engine is jumping. If the engine's jumping, then it's probably got a bad motor mount. That's going to cost you about $800 down the road. Could be a transmission issue. Okay, so you're going to check for that. Then you're going to take it on a test drive. Don't go where they tell you to go. Don't. Because they're going to tell you to like do 2 or 3 blocks with it and bring it back, kind of thing. And they're going to want to go with you, and that's fine. But find yourself a street that it, you know, is kind of off the beaten track. Get up to about 35, 40 miles an hour and then hit those brakes. And what you want to look for is if the car pulls in either direction, does it do this? When you're braking slowly, do the tires feel like they're wobbling? These are all things that you need to check on a car.
Take it to the thruway, make sure it does over 30, 40 miles an hour.
See if you can get on the highway with it. See if it goes over 35, 40 miles an hour without. And then when you're done and you've satisfied yourself that this is a decent car, the mileage is where it's supposed to be, turn the car off, wait about 30 seconds, turn it back on, then turn it off again, and wait to see if the engine does the idling thing. And then, just for giggles, walk around it and smell it again.
Look under the hood.
If you trust your mechanic, you trust your handyman, and he trusts the mechanic, okay. But make sure you pop that hood. Make sure you look in there. How old is the battery? Because, honey, I don't want you to get a car and then you decide that it's safe and you can drive and you're going to go see Benny, and halfway there, it just dies on the side of the road. Or it overheats. That's why I want you to run it through its paces. And another reason I want you to do that is because if they have turned off the check engine light, which is very easy to do, especially for a mechanic, there's a process where you have to drive the car in several conditions that will then re-trigger that check engine light. So rather than just go a block or two in it, really run it around. If you have to put your own gas in it, put your own gas in it and tell them, look, I need to run it through. Most cars, it wants at least a mile on the highway at highway speed. At least a mile of stop and go traffic. And then at least 20 to 30 minutes of actually driving time in different. So take a good test drive with it. Get it on the freeway, get it up there, because all of those things are going to reset the computer to re-hit that check engine light if it comes on, if they've turned it off for whatever reason. So run it through its pace.
And if you get your hands on an OBD2 reader or scanner, those are awesome too. AutoZone's got one for like $20.
So let's get the year and the model. Yes, it's a Mazda 3, but is it, anything specific? Is it an LX or an XL or something like that? Okay, let's do that first. Get a year, get that information. Once you have that information, I will take a look and I will see what are the things that we would want to look for on that specific model and what are the recalls on it.
And if they got the paperwork on those recalls, have been fixed.
Okay, then we'll work on it. Yes, we're going to get you a car, but we're going to do it safely. All right. I need a charm for this. Yeah, unfortunately, the OBD that they use at AutoZone won't show a cleared code. So probably better to see if you can just get the code to pop. Go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see. And if Mike get his New York on.
What?
Get on the phone with her while she's buying the car. Okay. All right, let's get some chain cut for this one. Wookie-doo, lobster claw. Yes, it does. It's a wonderful thing. I love that plier. This one, love it. It's my favorite. All right, so let's hook some chain. After we open this up a little better, here we go. Okay. Lobster claw. Close this. Okay, so I got this years ago. I don't even, it's patent pending. Like, I don't even know who makes it, but I have seen it recently on Temu. Get this out of my way real quick. So there's a hole back here. So you put this in through the pin and this little bar to the hole. You fold this part down because, you want to have that little kink. And then you cut this and see it cuts that piece off. And it wraps the wire around that little post and makes the little loop. So it's kind of cool. Saves me so much time. All right, let me see. We got this all locked in. Nope. It's a little off. Hold on. There she goes. Okay. I'm telling you, if you make a lot of jewelry, seriously, because like when I do the rosaries, it's you take your pin and it has a loop. You use the ones like this that has a loop on one side. So you use the ones with the loop. And then, see, like that has a loop. Then you put your bead on here. And then you have to cut this. And then you have to put a loop on the other side, which is a pain in the butt. But when I use this, I can literally go in, put on a bead, make a loop and cut, then take the what's left, make a loop, put on a bead, make a loop and cut. So I can save, save on my pins. I don't have to waste them. So much better. All right, now we have 1, 2. That's the little guy that goes on the end. Medium. Okay, so big one goes to the top. Why? Because we're on this one. Hold on, I changed like on here wrong. Oh crap. Hold on. I gotta open the chain up. I have to open this because the chain grabbed 2 loops instead of 1. Let's try that again. Maybe this time we'll get 1 loop. All right, 1. Yeah, I think when I bought that, I think it was like $13. Now I think it's like 20. But I know they have it on Temu. I've seen it on Temu, and it looks like it's the exact same piece. So I'm going to go with it's the exact same piece. All right. So the long one goes on the long chain. Sure. Up towards the top. Right here. Oh, come on. Get on the chain. Shit. We'll close that. Still not there. Gotta get it all the way over. And flush, Fabio. Then we'll put the little one on the end. And it's totally not opened. Let's open it. Long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a lady who used to make the most obnoxious book dangles. These things used to weigh like 10 pounds, I swear. But she didn't know a damn thing about jewelry making. And every time she picked that thing up, crap would fall off of it. Personally, I used to laugh. Because she was one of those people that was like, everything I can do better. You know what I mean? She was one of those. We call them Karens now. boy, I look in this through this magnifying lens and I see just how dry my hands are. It's horrible, I tell you, horrible. All right, we got some red, black on here, and I don't like this. We're gonna do a black, just a black thing. Just do a black thing on there. Hold on. Okay, put that over there. We don't want it. Ah, where did I put the black beach? The black beach, the black beach. You're there. There's a fly. I just put a nice big black pearl on it. Yeah. There she goes. Great. Loopy pin. Get a loopy pin. Son of a little humper. Yep, I'm doing it. Okay. And little rubber stopper. Dragon tails. Yay. Yeah. I will see if I can get any of them in the shop. Let me reach out. I'll reach out to a couple of my distributors on AliExpress and on Temu and see if any of them carry it. If they do, I'll see if I can get a deal on them so that I can give you guys a deal on them. Come on. There we go. Got that on there. Okay. And put this on here. But I want to do a charmy on this one. No. So we're going to do one of these. I'm going to do a charmy on this one. Get through the chain? We did. Okay. Get it through the chain. Yes. There's nothing more black and red than a ladybug. Let me see if I can get this to focus. So that one's a ladybug. Okay, putting it on here. All right, we did red and black. We need more colors, ladies. Give me some more colors. Not that I'm going to do them right now, but it gives me something to do, when I'm sitting here doing nothing. More color. Green. I can do green. Love green. Green is actually the hardest color to find when it comes to beads. I don't know why, but I do have some green. I have some beautiful ones that look like jade. Anybody else? Yeah, it's really hard. That's like, I have so much trouble trying to find green ones. They're very limited. But I do. I have some beautiful ones. Like, look at these. They look like, I swear they look like jade. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous, I tell you. Just gorgeous. Okay. Anybody else have a color in mind? Any color, any color, any color? Could we do one in? Let's do one in orange. Blue. Yeah, I'm going to do one in orange. I'm going to send it to Arlene. Alrighty. Where's my red bin? Set the hook these away. Here it is. Yeah, everything has to be, you know, very, very organized in order for this channel to work. Which is why I every day I thank the good graces that I have Miss Arlene. And she's not here today, but I have to tell you guys something. There's something very special going to be happening here. And I'm doing it just to be a shit to Arlene. Okay? Marjorie and Michelle are my partners in crime on this one. We're going to do something very evil, but not evil, but, you know, evil. We're going to have fun. And you guys are all going to laugh your butts off. If anybody doesn't know this, Marjorie does graphic design, guys. And she has an Etsy shop, I'm relatively certain. Marjorie, I'm going to put blue panties on you. If you have a shop, put the link. Please put the link in for me. I'm just going to throw some blue panties on you real quick so you can do that. Appreciate you. If you just put in a link to your shop. As long as that's not in it yet. She knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I was putting her blue panties on. You got blue panties. What's the problem? There you go. It is Let's Junk Journal on Etsy. So go over there and check her out. So you guys can go over there and, like, you know, let's support one of our own, okay? Because I'm going shopping. Oh, crap. I just spread pins all over the desk. I hate when I do that. One time I bought some stainless steel pins, and they were all bent and wonky. And I had to sit here with the straightener and go through like 500 pins. Because this was mild compared to some of the ones that were in that bag. Never bought from that seller again, that particular wholesaler. Where did I put my tray of pins? Right there. Okay. Okay. Tells you that your connection is okay. We're going to get there. Okay, this is the one we want. It's the one that has Marjorie in the bed with the doggies and the kitties. So it's the second one. The first one we don't want to use. Let's get rid of that one. Hold on. I'm going to hide that. I'm going to take it off. There we go. Okay, so it's the second link. This one. That's the one. Okay. Now, Marjorie, I'm going to make you naked. All right. So go over and look. And, she's part of the tribe. Let's support. No reviews yet, but she has 3 sales, and she's only been on Etsy for a month. So let's support. You're fine, honey. Not everybody is Arlene. Light, dark, light, dark. Arlene is like, she on the trigger with that stuff, I'm telling you. Okay, now these are going in here. This guy goes down here. You guys, go over here. So if you guys have ideas for what you would like to see in a digital, let her know. Doesn't mean she's going to do it, but at least it gives her ideas, Otherwise, she's pretty much, she's. We all know this. Marjorie's homebound for most of the the time, and I'm not. It's in her bio, so I'm not just closing any secrets. She can't get around, and if she can't get around, this is all she does, and she enjoys it, and it gives her something to keep her mind occupied, which we all know is important. Otherwise, you get like me and you get stupid. You start wondering to yourself, why am I here? What did I come into this room for? But I've seen her packs, her kits. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. But she's just getting started. So if you see something that you want, that's an idea that you're looking for, let her know so that she can create that, and then it'll be in her shop and she'll have it, and she'll know that people are looking for that, I noticed that. I saw the 2 of the ones that I had mentioned. And I'm okay with that, girly. I'm okay with that, because you know what that means? That means when I go to look for them, I know where to get them. Okay? So make sure you follow her shop. Make sure you give her some love. If you do buy anything from her, give her feedback. And if you have any issues with anything, give her the feedback, because she's just getting started. So she's got to feel it out. so to speak, you know? It's a learning curve. We all have a learning curve, guys. But ideas are what's important when you're starting off. And you don't want, guys, we don't want her to have stuff like everybody else has. Not everybody else's stuff. We want her to have stuff that's unique. Why? Because if she has unique stuff, then people are going to come to her shop more frequently because her stuff is different. Am I being bad?
No, I'm just trying to remember if I let him in or not.
Who?
Ozzy.
Oh. Just need to find out. Yeah, he's outside. I hear no movement. There's the Genie. Bug, are you going to come say hi to the ladies? He's hiding in his room. It's so funny. I was going to lay down earlier, you know, because I took my head pill, and I went to lay down, and Ginger saw me go that way, and she looked at me. At that point, I was in my room. She looked at me like, "Oh, don't you think about it?" So I walked down, and I go to put my foot in there. She runs into his room, turns around, puts her paws out, gets down on her chest, and starts gurring at me. Gur, 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 gur. See, I'm chopped liver when the boys here. Go ahead, say hello to your girls.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah, honey, don't stress. There's the bug.
Did I put the cat in?
No, don't let him in.
Let me hear you.
Everybody is saying hello to Hubbard.
Hi, this is Mike. With
He's on the
Fox
phone.
Business Support, calling out a recorded line.
He was on the phone. All right, so we made 3 of these. We made a black one with a skull. Gotta have a scully, right? I'll have to make a pokey tool with that, maybe do it as a set. And then we did the ladybug.
Oh, okay. Now I'm going to warn
And
you
then
right
we
now,
did
my
the purpley
spelling
one
sucks.
with
So
the key on it and the Celtic knot.
My spelling
cool.
is atrocious. If
So
you'd be
I
so
will
nice to spell
package
that
these
for me,
up, put
please.
them in the shop eventually, maybe. I don't know. Tomorrow? I don't know. Who knows?
I just-
Also, I have some good news on the
Thank
home
you,
front
Silas, I appreciate
from
that.
Michelle.
Hey, buddy, listen, I got
If anybody has,
internal
you know,
ticket
heard
number here,
of it, you know, I've been talking about it. She's real concerned. Jesse's got like a growth on his abdomen. She took him to the vet today. They took an x-ray and everything. They said they don't think that it's cancer. It's probably just a cyst. But they gave him some medications, and so he's home. Also, his paw, yesterday he was chewing at his paw, and she couldn't figure out why, and then she realized it was a nail. It was all screwed up. He broke his nail pretty far back, and it was all infected, and that's why he was chewing at it.
Yep, that'd be it.
Yay!
Apparently, you guys got some sort of outage.
We're gonna
going
do
on that's,
one in pink.
affecting 6 of our tickets.
And then maybe one in Carnival. And by Carnival, I mean like really bright, flashy colors. We'll do that. I'll do all of those. Yeah, so poor baby, he is her baby. She lives in a high fire area. You know, like they have she lives in California. She lives in Northern California, and it's in the mountains. And so they're always, if there's wildfires, they have to bug out. She actually has a bug out bag for the dog. He has all his toys. And Auntie Elle sends him cookies, you know, that are like this big. And I go to the Barkery because we have Barkeries here. She doesn't have those up there. So I go to the Barkery and I get him like the designer cookies. She's like, but he loves them. And then she like, the last time I sent him a box, there were 2 like frosted donuts in there, and the parrot, you know,
I'm still doing that one way or the other.
he got the first cookie, and then he went after the parrot, but he realized there was another cookie in the box, and he was like, nope, give me the cookie first. Cookie first, toys later, cookie.
All right, that makes a little more sense. My brain was starting to get a little squirmy. all the math back and forth. Which where?
All right.
Yeah.
God, my allergies, guys.
All right. So about an hour ago, we've got an update.
It has all his medicine in it. It has all his treats in it. It has his wrap for his, for he chews on himself sometimes, so she puts like a wrap on it so he won't chew on himself because he has very sensitive skin. He's got allergies.
So I'll just say, hey, they're currently engaged working on this, and yeah,
it's got his blow-up collar in it. It's got an extra harness and collar and stuff, and just all the things that he needs. A couple of his toys and a ball and stuff. Just gotta have him for it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Silas. I really appreciate the assistance in this matter. And you guys, sir, have yourself a fantastic.
Let's go back to what was going on. So Jen P. She was out buying. I got these from her. This one is salvaged patina. These are all brand new. This one is walnut stain, and this one is squeezed lemonade. So they're going to be in the next sale. But she was out, and she asked me. She found somebody who was trying to sell this the Big Shot. She goes, "Well, what do you think it's worth?" And I was like, "Well, find out what they want for it," because she wanted to know if I wanted it. I said, "We'll find out what they want for it." So for a used Big Shot,
thanks. Bye-bye.
They want $75. She says she thinks it's too much. Well, I told her, I said, used, they go for $25 to $40. That's it. So then we were we were sitting here just kind of conversing back and forth. And she sends me this message that says that she's selling a lot of 48 inks and refills for $600. She says, "Do you think that's too much?" I said, "Okay, stop. It's 48 inks." I said, "Used ink pads sell for like $2 to $3. I know I sell them all day long. $2 to $3. And that is if I re-ink them, which is why I always have re-inkers, because I re-ink the ink pads before I sell them." So I said, let's say $3 an ink pad, 48 ink pads. That's under $150. Now the re-inkers, $3 to $5. We'll say $5. Does she have re-inkers for all of them? No, only about half of them. Okay, so maybe $300 is what you're looking at here. And she wants $600. I said, that's way more. And so I asked her, I said, "What kind of ink is this?" It's Stampin' Up. The worst ink on the planet. It's not archival. It's not waterproof. It's crappy ink. I told her, I said, no. I said, don't even think about that. Because she's starting her own whatnot, I think is what it's called. I have a whatnot too. I just don't use it that often. But she's doing her own whatnot thing. So she's getting products together to do a sale. And that's fantastic. But don't get screwed, Yeah, it is one of the, and it is an MLN, and LMN, the MLM, and you can't tell anybody that it is. They don't believe it. The only thing that's good for Stampin' Up, and I don't think they do it anymore. I think it's more expensive now. Used to be when you would start off with them, and you could restart with them once a year. You got $150 sign up thing that you did, and you got to order $150 worth of product from them, which was great, but only if you wanted their stamps and stuff, because their ink pads suck, their paper cracks, even their cardstock, their plain colored cardstock cracks. Not only that, but I recently heard that their new cardstock line is white core on top of everything else. I was like, oh my God. I used to get their paper pumpkin just to see, what all the hullabaloo was about, because I knew a lot of people that were distributors. And I realized that Their paper pumpkins were a huge waste of money. Hold on. Hi guys, how you doing? Sorry, I had to get that out of there. And 90% of the time, they were just cards, making cards. MLM is a multi-level marketing, and it's a scam. Now, here's the thing, and I've had people that haven't believed this, but I'll take them, when I go on a road trip, if they come with me, I'll always do it. Most MLMs, believe it or not, are owned by the Church of Latter-day Saints. They're owned by the Mormons. So when you go into Utah, when you get up into Orem, Salt Lake, in that area, the more northern part of the state, which is where they're mostly congregated, like that's where most of the population is in the state of Utah. They're everywhere. As you drive down the highway, you'll see, like La Rue and the diet one. Which was the diet one that was really big? And there's you'll see Stampin' Up there. You'll see the essential oil people, and all this stuff. New Way, yeah, it's an alleyway. Amway, that's up there too. Bye, honey. Go lay down. Yeah, Herbalife. They're all out of there. And they all start off with the business. The stuff is not nearly what they say it is. I mean, Sensi, that's another one. Sensi comes out of there. The doTERRA, that's the name of it. The doTERRA. They started that one, and they got in a lot of trouble for it. They started doTERRA, and this was probably about 12, 15 years ago when it very first started. They were recommending that you actually consume these essential oils. They were recommending things like putting peppermint essential oils directly on your skin. They were trying to say that what they were selling was 100% rose essential oil. No, baby. Not for $12 a bottle. It's not.
$12 a drop, maybe.
Maybe $12 a drop. I'll tell you why. Rose essential oil is the most expensive essential oil you can make. You literally need, and the only thing you can make it from is the petals. Only the petals. You need a football field worth of petals. And I mean like buckets with like 4 dozen roses in each one lined up on a football field to make 1 half-ounce bottle of rose essential oil. That stuff is the most expensive crap on the planet, by and large. Like if you were to convert it to gallons, it would make your head spin. And they were claiming that for $12 you could buy this 1 ounce bottle of real rose essential oil. Yes, by the drop. Absolutely. I know there's a guy here who makes custom perfumes, and they're all oils. And he'll tell you right up front that to get a dram of his perfumes is like $12, but the minute you want to put rose into it, it's like $20. It's ridiculous.
According to Google, it takes approximately 2,000 to 3,000 petals roughly 30 to 50 roses to create just 1 to 2 drops of concentrated rose essential oil.
Did y'all hear that? That's why it's so expensive. So, yeah. So as you drive down the main highway going through, which is actually Interstate 11 now, it used to be 95, but as you drive through and you hit like Orem and then go into Salt Lake, you see them all along the road. And it is literally, it's multi-level marketing at its finest. They will come up with a new concept. Typically the people that start it are higher up in the church. And so they will start it, and they do push this stuff onto their congregants first, and then they have their congregants push it onto like friends at, at their kids' school or their kids' daycares. And it's only like the top 10 or 20 people in each organization that makes any money. And that is because those people are making money from the people below them. And the products are suspect at best. And questionable. Lala Roo was probably one of the biggest blowouts. Lala Roo was buying their pants that they were selling. You remember the Lala Roo pants? Everybody had them. I still have them. I have like an Alice in Wonderland pair. I have a Cruella de Vil pair. I have a puzzle pair. I don't know why, but yeah, you used to buy Lala Roo, and you could only buy it like through a distributor. So you would see a lot of people selling it like at like county fairs and craft sales and things like that. They would go and they'd set up a Lala Roo, and then they came out with, first it was pants, then they came out, it was like dresses and shirts, and each shirt had a different design name. Like it was a Marjorie, or it was actually they did have one called a Marjorie. They had a Marjorie, they had a Belinda, they had a Kim, and they were just different styles of shirts. Like Kim was a t-shirt, Marjorie was like it was like a short sleeve tunic kind of thing. And the shirts were never made from the same type of material as the pants. The shirts were usually made from a cotton blend. But they were only paying for the pants when they started. They were only paying like 20 to 25 cents a pair for the pants. Then they were selling them to the distributors for like $10 a pair and telling them to make their money by charging no less than $20 a pair. And they were coming in these huge, massive bundles. It'd be like 500 pairs of pants in there. And it would just be all strapped together. And they were coming into the distributor, into the main warehouse. And they were storing them outside in the elements. Distributors were getting pants that smelled like urine. They were getting pants that were chewed up. They had pants that like had rat droppings in them and stuff. And they were supposed to be able to return those to the company to get their money back, or at least a credit for their next purchase. And Lala Roo started balking at it. Yeah, moldy. Hi, Miss Sherry. And it was just horrible. And you never knew what you were going to get. There's a lot of documentaries about Lala Roo. They imploded worse than any of the other MLMs did. Another one that's getting ready, it's on the tipping point of imploding is the jewelry one. Have you guys seen the jewelry one that's out now? I don't know what it's called, but it's a jewelry company, and you'll see people trying to sell it, and it's like earrings for $5, bracelets for $5, and things like that. That jewelry, it's totally costume jewelry. They're only paying pennies for it. Then they charge like $2 to $3 a set to the sellers, and the sellers then have to sell it for the set price, which is $5 or $6 or whatever it is right now. Yeah, paparazzi. That's the one. And when you buy it, you're supposed to be able to send it back if, there's something wrong with it. Some of these distributors are getting it and it's broken. It's already tarnished. It's a disaster. I know Herbalife got busted about 15, 20 years ago. They got busted. I think the only one that's really kind of survived without any real is Amway and Fuller Brush. Those are the two that I think, and Tupperware used to be an MLM too, but they changed their thing. So was Avon. But they changed the way that they worked to where you didn't have to buy the product anymore. So that's the thing. With companies like Stampin' Up, Herbalife, Paparazzi, La La Rue, all of those, you had to buy the product. Because of the way that the business model was designed, you had to buy that product and then try to get rid of it. And you were expected to have so much in sales. So if you didn't sell, then you had to buy it in order to sell it. And so you would see people like on YouTube trying to sell it. You saw people with like literally and trying to keep on top of their business. They were spending more than they were making. And yet the company was still pushing them to continue to buy. Yeah, but Paparazzi is another one. That's one of the newer ones. But there's a bunch of them. And if you get a chance, just put MLM into the search engine on YouTube. It'll bring you up about 50 different MLM scams. And they're scams. And when you track them back, almost all of them go back to the Mormon Church. The seed money and the people that establish the businesses are in the Mormon Church, and they live in Orem or in Salt Lake City, right in that area. And their headquarters are all right there. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I remember when I went to, I moved to Alaska. I was probably I was in my early 20s, probably 22, 21, 22, somewhere in that neighborhood. I moved up there with my then husband and our daughter. And the people that lived across from us, they were quivers. We didn't know that. We didn't even know what the hell that was, but they were basically quivers. She was pregnant, had one on her hip and one in a walker. I mean, she had like a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and she was pregnant. But he invited us to come out to Amway. They were doing a big thing down at the convention center there in Alaska. And he's like, come on down. It's going to be a big rally, and we're going to have dinner, and there'll be all kinds of stuff, and you'll be able to meet people. And then they were like, and we were like, okay, so we'll go. So we got a babysitter, and we went down there. And it was, they were talking about their products, which I have to be honest with you. Fuller Brush and Amway, their products are actually good. Like for the longest time, I used their baby soap for laundry because it was perfect. It got out stains. It didn't leave residue in the clothes. Sometimes like when you rinse something, like you wash out your clothes and then you go back and you for whatever reason, you're going to rinse it out and it's like it's got soap still in it. This stuff wasn't like that. It was, when you washed your clothes, when I washed the baby's clothes, it got out all the formula stains and everything. And if I rinsed those clothes afterwards, it didn't have like that scum soap in it. So it was really good because Alex had really sensitive skin. And I used a couple of their products. Their glass cleaner was one of the first companies that came out with concentrated glass cleaner. Matter of fact, one of the first companies came out with concentrated cleaners of any kind. You would get like this little teeny plastic thing, and you'd cut it and put it into the bottle and then add water, and it was glass cleaner. It was fantastic. It worked awesome. And I had a stainless steel range at the time, no streaks, it was great stuff. But and I will not fault them. Their products are fantastic. And they this now they have Earth Breeze. You've seen these, the dryer, the fabric soap sheets that you throw in the washing machine, and Fuller Brush came out with that 30 years ago. Literally 30 years ago. It just didn't catch on. I think it was Tide that may have also had it. One of the big Cheer, I think, had you could buy the basically compressed dehydrated soap that you threw into the washing machine. And Earth Breeze is not a new concept. Fuller Brush and Amway had that years ago. And I'm not sure if it was Amway that absorbed Fuller Brush or Fuller Brush that absorbed Amway, but one of them took over the other. And they became one big company. And they were fantastic. Fantastic products. But their hard sell was to get you to come in. And I was like, and my husband was like, it's something you can do from home. That might be a good idea because, baby and everything. And I was like, okay, but how do you sell this stuff from home? Well, the idea was I was supposed to contact every single person I knew and convince them to buy this crap. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. No. But they were hard push. And finally, I just went, you know what? I think we need to get home. I think the baby needs us. And I made him leave. Of course, we were new on the base. He didn't want to upset, this guy who was, I guess, his coworker. But yeah, that stuff. But yeah, MLMs they're horrible. It's a pyramid scam. It's a Ponzi scam. That's all it is. And they build them up there in Utah, and they put them out, and they get as many people as they can involved in it. And then they close down, and you're stuck with your inventory. You can't get a refund on it. You've got stuff that honestly nobody will sell because they overflood the market with it. Nobody wants it. Who wants it? They've already flooded the market. But yes, Stampin' Up! Is an MLM. So just don't support it. That's it. That's all I have to say. I'm off my soapbox. We've been on here for 2 hours. I got to figure out what I'm feeding these men. These boy men things I have. By the way, I did get my alcohol preps. Yay! Which is probably good because I keep putting my daubers up here and it's nasty. All right, I'm going to turn this one off. Doop. Oh. Let there be light. Oh. Okay. That's what happens when you have conflicting lights. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Tomorrow we are Friday Night Nuts. I don't know what we're going to do. Remember, tomorrow morning I'm going to have a late start because I got to take Buggy to his thing for his bowling. And then we'll have Friday Night Nuts tomorrow. We'll have mixed media on Saturday. Our Rolodex card in washi. This is a Rolodex card for anybody who doesn't know. It's one of these little cards that has the things at the bottom that they put in those little, back in the day when, you know, we didn't have like everything on auto dial. So we got that. We're going to be here, of course, Sunday for our game, which is also Mother's Day. So we might do a clean version because it's Mother's Day. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. We're going to be moving into some things. I've got, I have a really crappy On the Cheap coming up on the 18th. Don't watch it. It sucks. But, you know, it's a video. So, but I'm telling you guys, it's crappy. Oh God, he's in. Let's see. Anything else? Not really. The 3-pocket wallet was a decent little project. Hello. There he is. All right. So that's it. That's all I have. If you're new and you're just hanging out, go ahead and subscribe. Okay. Let's get it over with. Hi, Harry. Night, Mari. Mari said good night to you before she went bye-bye. She said hi. You going to see peace? You going to see peace? All right, so that's it. If you were interested in knowing what's going on around here, you know, what kind of weirdness we can get up to, you can get a copy of my schedule here on the YouTube channel, or you can go to my Facebook group. You can also cyber stalk me like a pro. All you have to do is go down to the description, click on more, and I'm going to give you a cyber stalker starter kit. That's right. You're going to know everything there is to know about my socials, and that combined with my schedule tells you everything you need to know to stalk me. But that's it. That's all I have. You going to say goodbye? You've been outside sleeping in the cataminium for 3 hours, you lazy cat. I know you loved your mama, huh? Your mama knows you. I have a suspicion that there's a treat for you in the mailbox. Should we send Buggy to go check? Should we? Should we? Should we have Buggy go look? Yeah, we should. Okay. So that's it. That's all I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning when I get live. It'll probably be early afternoon. But until then, give Mother Nature a break. I get it. You know, she cracked out right now. Actually, she's doing pretty good. It's not too bad. Although, you know, there is those snowstorms. She just hit Colorado. She's not being nice right now. Maybe if you see her smile, maybe it'll make her day and she'll knock it off. I don't know. But other than that, stay hydrated and stay well. I love you guys, and we will see you soon. Say bye, Harry. No bye-byes? No bye-byes? Nothing?